Hey everybody, today we'll be doing another Unity tutorial. In this video we are going to be going over how to add a start menu. And in the last two videos we did how to add a pause menu and a game over. For the pause menu, it looks like this. If you press escape, it'll show like the pause menu. You'll be paused in time. You can go to Options, Main Menu, press Resume, fall off the map. It'll go into your game over. You can continue. We'll go back to the main menu. Press continue to do that. But what I haven't shown you guys is when you actually go to the main menu, how to actually set this up. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video. And so yeah, let's get started. What I'm going to be doing is going to the scenes folder. I have a scenes folder, and if you guys don't have a main menu scene, then you can go to the scenes and you can create a new scene. It's in there somewhere, right there. Or you can just take one of your previous scenes if you already have one, then just duplicate it, delete all the stuff inside of it, and all that stuff. I'll just go to main menu scene because I already have one. What you want to do is, because this is what you're going to be given, just a main camera, and what I did is I already created a canvas component. In case you guys don't know how to do this, I'm just going to delete the canvas. I'm going to create a UI canvas component. And the canvas is what stores all your UI components, like your text and buttons. With it, I'm going to rename this canvas to being renamed to main menu. Then I'm going to be adding a UI button component. I'm going to move it upwards. I'm going to change the size of it to being a little bit bigger. Center it. I'm going to go inside of it and then go to the text. I'm going to make the text be maybe like 50. Maybe like 45. I'm going to change the button to be renamed to NewGame. I'm going to rename this button to be called NewGame. Then I'm going to take this button and I'm going to duplicate it twice. And you can add as many buttons as you want to. And then I'm going to take this button, do that, and take this button and then move it down to here. Now I'm going to open up these last two buttons. I'm going to rename them to being Options, and I'm going to rename this one to be called Quit. This text component, I'm going to actually have the text say Options. Well, not this one, but I'm going to have this one be called Quit, actually. I did that a little weird order there, but... So I'm going to actually rename this to be Quit. I'll move this one below this button. I'm going to rename this one to being Options again. I'm going to rename the text to being Options. I am going to then set up these on-click events. So I am going to make the new game first. So I'm just going to go to the main menu canvas and I'm going to add a component being a main menu event, or main menu button. Then I'm going to create an add. Now within the script, I'm going to remove the start and update methods, and I'm going to add a void, or public void. And then name it whatever I want to. I'm going to rename this one to being new game. I'm going to close parentheses, I'm going to close curly brackets, and then within the curly brackets, I'm going to make it disable this main menu and enable another canvas component. So I'm going to take the main menu and I'm going to duplicate it. This one I'm going to rename to being start. And then I'm going to have, so now if this one was disabled, I'm just going to take this one and I'm going to delete the options and the quit. I'm going to change this one to saying start, and I'm going to change this one, or the actual text of it, to being start. Now, I'm going to disable the start and enable the main menu. So this is what it's going to show. Then I'm going to go to the script, and I'm going to make it disable a game object. So I'm going to make it public. I'm going to call it a game object, and I'm going to name it main menu. Then I'm going to make another game object, reference, and I'm going to name this one to being start. Then end it. Just have this be this, and then I'm going to have it disable the main menu. So I'm going to make it set active in parentheses, and I want it to be false because I want to disable it. Then I'm going to make the start method, well, not the start method, but the start game object, set active to be true. Then I'm going to save the script. I'm going to go out, and then I have to set up the main menu in the start. So I want the main menu to be the main menu canvas, and I want the start to be the start canvas. So now if I don't maximize and I press play, and then press, actually that won't work yet, because you also need to go to the new game button and set it up as being an on-click event, and I want this event to being the main menu. I want it to be the object, and then I want to make the function be in the main menu buttons, and it should be the new game. So now if you click play, and then press the new game button, it'll go into the start. Now I want to do the same thing if you want to go backwards, so I'm going to disable this and then enable this. I'm going to take the start button and I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to rename this to back. I'm going to move this to being up in the top left corner. I'm going to make it smaller. And then I'm going to make the text inside of it be back. I'm going to change the size of it to being 15. And then there we go. So now this is our back button. Now we need to set it up. So in this, I'm going to also move the main menu and the start. And then I'm going to go into the script, and I'm going to make a public void, and I'm going to rename this back. And then if you press the back button, I want it to do what happened when you press the new game button, but I just want to do the opposite. So I want the main menu to be enabled, so I want this to be true. Then I want the start to be disabled, so I want this to be false. I want to save the script and then go out. And I'm just going to reset it to where the start is disabled and the main menu is enabled. Now if I click play and then press the new game, it'll load into here, and then if I press back, I didn't set up the back button though, so I need to go to back. I need to add an on-click event. I need to drag start into there, and I need to make the function be the back. So now if I press play, new game will take me to here, back will take me back to here. Now I'm going to add the options to do the exact same thing, but for an options menu. So I'm going to take the start and I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to rename this to being options. And then I'm going to make the main menu disabled. I'm going to go to the options, enable this. I'm going to open it up, and then I'm going to delete the start and the back. Now, I'm not going to be diving too much into options. There's plenty of videos out there to help you with that. I'm not the best at options, but you can add like a UI toggle. I've already gone over how to do a toggle in another video. You just have to add the in the script. I'll just go over it real quickly, but in the script you just do the exact same thing that you did with that, so like add a public void. And then whatever you want to name it, let's just call it toggle. And then in these parentheses you would do a bool, and then whatever you want to name this bool, which is let's just name it bool toggle. Then whatever you would put in this would be like if you wanted to like make it to where you had the toggle enabled, then it would enable a game object, and if it was disabled, you want to disable a game object, you would just have to, let's say I'm going to use start.SetActive. Then in parentheses, instead of making it true or false, I would make it equal to bool toggle. And then, so when the bool toggle is enabled, it comes back as being true, and then when the bool toggle is disabled, it'll send back as being false. So that's how you'd add like a toggle. Yeah, you can add whatever you want into this. I'm just going to set up the actual going to this, but I'm not going to set up the options menu. But what I am going to do is I'm going to make the options disabled. Well, actually, I'm going to also add a back button. So I'm going to go to options, I'm going to go to UI button, I'm going to move this up to being at the top. I'm going to make it smaller. I'm going to, just like the other one, I'm going to rename it to being, I'm going to make it 15. I'm going to rename it to being back. And then I'm going to go to the options. And then in this, I'm going to do the back, but I wanted to also disable the, that thing. So I'm going to go into the, I'm going to make a new game object. Reference to the options. Then I'm going to go into the options. And I want it to be disabled. When you press back. Then I need to add another public void. And then I want it to be to where it will be a options. Then I want to make it to where if you press the options button, I want it to disable the main menu. So I'm just going to copy this. And I want to enable the options. So I'm going to do this, and I'm just going to switch it to being enabled. So I'm going to switch false to being true. I'm going to save the script and go out. Now I'm going to set up the, or finish the, or like, yeah, put in the game object here, which is options. Put that into here, here, and here. And then the options, I want it to, yeah, I'm going to also rename this to be back. Then I need to set up the on-click event, so back I want to be the back. And then in the main menu, I want the options to be the options. So now if I press play, I'm going to start in here, I'm going to press back, so it'll take me to here, options will take me back to here. To quit, I don't have set up yet, NewGame will take me to here, back will take me back to here. Now I need to add the start, so now I need to actually start the game. So, in the start, I'm just going to disable the options, I'm going to enable the start, and I need to set up the start button. So in the script, I'm going to make another public void. I'm going to call it start. Then, but actually that won't work because it's that, so I'm just going to do, because if I did a lowercase, that means I'm going to change this to being, I'm going to do start, because this is the same name as that now, so I'm just going to call it start2, just to make the names not match, so then it doesn't give me any errors. Then I want to make it to if you press the start button, actually I'm just going to call it start button. And then I want it to load a certain scene, so I want to make a new using tag, and I want to make it using UnityEngine.SceneManagement, so you can actually go into Scene Manager. Then I'm going to go into the Scene Manager, and I want to load a scene. and I want this scene, I can either put the build index value into here, I can do quotation marks and the name of the scene. I'm going to do the build index value actually, so I'm going to do 1, because I believe it should be 1 in the build index value. To know what the build index value of it is, you have to go to File, Build Settings, and it will show like the name of the scene, and then it will show the build index value to the right. So it's actually 0. I want it to actually load 0. So I need to change this to being 0. Then I'm going to save this, go out, and set up the start button event. Well, not event, but on-click event. I want to drag in the start, and then change this to being start. Now, if I disable this, and enable the main menu, maximize, then click play. Obviously I didn't set up quit, but I don't have that, like I don't know how to set up a quit thing, but I do have the options, so now this will go to here. You have to anchor them though. I didn't do that. So if I go to the back buttons, like this one I need to anchor it to the top left, and this one I also need to anchor to the top left. And there's a couple other things I should probably anchor, but those are good for now. So now if you press New Game, it'll go to here. Now it doesn't show them though, because it's funky how it's kind of. So I'm just gonna, you guys can mess around with that, anchoring it just right. I'm just gonna keep it there for now. But yeah, that's basically how to just create a bunch of on button events. So back will take you back to here, and then start will actually load you into the game. And this is everything else we set up. You can do this, and you can do this too. So I hope you enjoyed this, the final part of this 3-part series, and yeah, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next Unity tutorial.